show you're about to see just might have a special meaning for you as well.
On this crossing over, a husband turns rowdy when the other side blocks John's connection to his wife.
We can't get there until we get him out of the way.
Well, give him a shove and maybe...
Plus, they didn't understand an urgent message.
Talk to them about the 17th, the 17th, the 17th.
Until they translated a 90-year-old letter and learned the answers it held. You are about to experience what millions have witnessed. John Edward reunites people in the physical world with those who have crossed over.
Thank you very, very much. Welcome to Crossing Over. This is going to be a great episode today. We have lots of interesting things coming up for you, and I want to get right into it. So with that, I'm going to be coming up over here. And the guy that's got his arms crossed, you've got the brother who's passed?
Pardon?
You have a brother who's passed, correct?
No, I don't.
Then you have a brother-in-law who's passed because somebody's coming through claiming to be the male figure to your side. To me, that's husband, brother, cousin, friend, but he's claiming to be the brother, and he's putting himself at your side.
No, I have no brother-in-law that passed.
Okay, stick with me. Listen, you have a male figure to your side. To me. Husband, I don't think you have a husband who's passed.
No.
Brother, I believe you that you don't know about your brother. Brother-in-law, stepbrother, or a contemporary that's right at your side. And is there a Midwestern family connection to you guys?
There's a Western connection.
How Western for you?
California.
Too West for me. Like Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri. Think middle of the country. Why are they highlighting that for me? What's in the middle? Not down by Texas, but mid, right in that area.
A family connection?
No, to you. What is that connection to you?
I really can't place any connection
Keep
with
thinking.
the Midwest. Can you help me?
I'm trying. Keep thinking, because they're putting me right in the middle of the country, and they're like trying to tie that to this. I say Kansas, you say?
Missouri.
Why?
Huh?
Why Missouri?
Well, I attended a wedding in Kansas City, a friend's son, but no connection to anybody that was as close to me as you're purporting.
Have you talked about that friend recently?
I have.
How's he doing?
He's fine. I better give him a call today.
But you see how this works? They're linking me to, 2 minutes ago you had no connection to the Midwest, and now you had a friend's son's wedding.
Right.
There's a connection. You have a male figure to your side who's trying to get through to you. This is the part of the program where he looks over and goes, help me, make him go away. I don't leave.
I could see that. Unfortunately, my wife passed away in August, on August 4th. And we went to the wedding in Kansas, together, obviously, at the time. And whether or not there's a connection of her passing and her having been in Kansas with me, I don't know if that's what you're trying to draw out.
It might be, but we can't get there until we get him out of the way.
Well, give him a shove and maybe we...
Think for a moment to her family. Think for a moment to your wife's family. Think about her family. Does she have the brother figure who has passed that might want to bring her through or might want to acknowledge this?
Well, but he was in Las Vegas. He said
Well, this is... Did we just...
She had a cousin who was murdered like 3 years ago. Well, I'm saying too much.
You...
All right.
Stay with
She
me
has
here.
a cousin who was in Las Vegas.
Is he now on the other side?
Yes,
Was he there before her?
yes.
Okay, I found your mail. Now, wait, there's more. Of course there's more. We can't leave it at that. I'm supposed to tell you, I don't know what kind of words or descriptions you would have used to your wife about him. Now would be the time he'd like me to just bring that up and let you know, like, I know what you said. Now, I won't bring that up here, but you know what you said. And he's just using this as a, I'm not going to let anybody else come through until he gets that out of the way. And he is coming across as your brother, so I want to let you know that. And I will tell you that either he had the cancer, no, you said he was murdered, or somebody else here had cancer, because they're trying to show me passing from cancer.
My wife.
Okay, and there's also got to be either a Susan, or there's got to be an S connection for her family, or to you. There's a major S name. You were doing so well. There's an S. Think like her. She's telling me to acknowledge the S. You have 3 kids?
I have, yeah, one of them is Stephen.
Thank you.
I'm,
She's, they're all hers as well,
no,
too.
I'm glad you reminded me.
I want to specifically say, since she's passed, you talked about the wedding for a friend's son. Don't you have a family event of your own that's coming up or came up after she passed?
Yes, I had
Oh,
my... Yes.
Thank you. I need to acknowledge that if it happened, she was at this event. I'm supposed to remind you about the lollipops, or about the green thing on the stick. So there's something green on a stick, which to me is either a lollipop, or you were helping her with a glycerin swab. There's got to be a glycerin swab or something that would be green like that, because they're showing me what looks like that. So
Yes,
she might not have been able to eat anything, and her lips were dry, and you were helping her do that. And this would be her way of coming through with this. I'm also supposed to thank you, because nobody else was around when you did this, when you were either holding her, where you got in bed and you were holding her, and you were singing to her. So I want you to know that that is appreciated, okay? To me, this is really important. She's got a couple of things I need to bring up. One, she's talking about the pots that you threw out, or throwing out the utensils. Especially one that you burnt the black handle on it and it smelled, so that had to go. She understands, it's okay. And the other thing I'm supposed to bring up is the fact that you're going to be redoing the kitchen, or you're redoing something in the kitchen. Is this happening now?
Not happening now, but I'm intending to redo certain rooms.
Okay, well, the kitchen, according to her, should be one of them.
Yes.
Okay, so she's...
Joe dedicated himself to Marilyn for 43 years of marriage and was there every moment to the very end. Now Marilyn has a message for Joe from the other side. You'll hear what this important message is next. Welcome back to Crossing Over with John Edward.
Before the break, a man named Joe in the gallery heard healing messages from his wife Marilyn on the other side. As the reading continues, Marilyn makes sure to let him know how much she appreciates the special effort he made just before she crossed. Now, you actually either left work or retired or quit to take care of her?
Well, it was during my retirement that her illness became worse, and I was there with her through the whole
Well,
thing.
she's claiming that you put everything else on hold to make her, like, the spotlight of everything.
Well,
Okay.
I did.
And she's telling me to tell you that she appreciates the fact that you did this, okay? Now, I also want to go back and tell you that it's not the 4th. You said she passed on the 4th?
August 4th.
Right. That's not it. The connection to you that they want me to bring up is 5, which means that the 5th month, May, is significant for you and your wife.
Yes.
But she's telling me to tell you May, because I'm seeing my anniversary. So I don't know if she's trying to tell me that you guys married or met in May, but there's got to be a connection in a big way with, like, 2 or 3 things that come off the same event that happens with this.
Well,
And congratulations on the granddaughter. Who had the baby?
Well, I have 2 grandchildren, but my son-in-law's sister is due to give birth within the week.
Would that make it your granddaughter?
No, it would not. It actually would have no
Direct
actual
family
relation.
connection to you.
Right.
Unless you guys are considered all part of the same family.
Yes. Yeah,
However, I will tell you as she gives it to me, congratulations on being a grandfather for a granddaughter.
okay.
So do you have granddaughters now?
I have 2, yes.
Were they born after she passed? Or one of them born after she passed?
Long before.
then I'm going to have to tell you that either you're going to be a great-grandfather or there's another little girl coming into this family.
Well, I'm happy to hear that.
Happy to report it.
You had made mention that of May being significant, and that my wife went for a checkup on May 1st in 2001, and that's when she found out that
She had cancer?
Another cancer had. That was the first day of May, right?
But there's two other things that happen around that at the same time. So, of course, she shows it to me as being like a flower with two things growing off it. So either she found out she had cancer in two separate areas that day, or she found out that, you know, she had cancer, and then two other events took place right after.
They did. Two other events. They found a lung malignancy, and then a couple of months later, a new tumor had grown.
She's also telling me that you declined hospice, and then you said yes?
No, she had no hospice.
Well, wait, let me just say this, because I'm pretty clear on what she's showing me. She's making me feel like there was health care assistance offered to you, at which at one point you said no, and then you agreed to some of it.
Well, I had wanted to take total care of her, but at some point it was necessary for us to get some help from the hospital.
Okay, that's what she's showing me. She just wants you to know that she appreciates everything that you did, because what happened was she was very coherent for a very long period of time.
Yes, she was.
And then it was only at the end where she lost her, she wasn't coherent any longer. But just because somebody isn't coherent doesn't mean that they don't know what's going on, because it's as if the soul is the driver of the vehicle, which is the body. And the body might have a problem. The vehicle might have a problem, and I've said this many, many times. The driver can get out and watch what's happening to the vehicle, at which point I know that she did. And the most important thing that I want to say here is that what she wants from you is to keep doing what you're doing now, which is enjoying yourself. So she wants you to keep doing that. That's important to her. Just don't burn them with pots. All righty? Thank you very, very much.
Thank you. My wife's name is Marilyn. She was a unique woman. We had 43 years of good, solid marriage. Very compassionate, more concerned about other people and their well-being than she really was about herself. She was very well-read and loved maps. And I mean, we used to spend our evenings, I would read a paper or watch television. She'd have magazines and books and maps all over the tables. She was terrific, and she maintained that even when she was ill.
She's claiming that you put everything else on hold to make her like the spotlight of everything.
I had taken a vow 43 years ago that for better or worse, I was going to take care of her, and she was going to take care of me. Unfortunately, she just had this predisposition to cancers, and I just felt it was important for me to be there for her as a comfort and as a help. And as difficult as it was to see her go downhill like that, it was just something that I felt I had to do. And I'm glad I did it.
I need to acknowledge that if it happened, she was at this event.
My wife wanted desperately to attend my granddaughter's bat mitzvah. And, you know, we kept encouraging her that she certainly would. And unfortunately, she passed away 5 or 6 months prior to it. I like that feeling of thinking that she was there.
She's talking about the pots that you threw out, especially one that you burnt the black handle on, and it smelled, so that had to go.
It was something that she always took care of, whether it was the cooking or the cleaning or things of that nature. And my kids even joke at me, especially since her passing. I've had to call them and ask them, how do I make hard-boiled eggs? And I think that's the first time I burned the pot. I remember the eggs breaking or the pot being black. I don't remember if I threw a pot out or not or tried to scrub it clean. She probably is having a good laugh about that at this point. She was such a compassionate woman that I had a very strong feeling, and I approached the hospital, and I wanted to fund a room, and with donor help through a lot of friends and family. for radiation and chemo patients at Beth Israel Hospital, to have a room where they can seek some respite or solace.